Hello everybody, welcome to the Empressive channel. The Disney star Skai Jackson was arrested for putting her hands on her boyfriend. According to TMZ, this incident happened last week. She was at Universal City Walk with her boyfriend, and apparently they had an altercation and she pushed him a few times, and one of the security guards noticed it and they basically detained Skai and her boyfriend. Now, when I heard this story, I was pretty shocked, but this wasn't the most shocking part. The most shocking part is Skai is actually pregnant and engaged. When Skai and her boyfriend were detained, they denied getting physical with each other, and they explained that they're happily engaged and expecting a baby. Okay? Now, even though they tried to convince the officer that things were all good, Skai is still not out of trouble just yet, because currently the LA District Attorney's Office is reviewing this case because she was caught on camera pushing her boyfriend. So she could possibly face a misdemeanor battery charge. So we'll see what happens. But this whole story is a mess, isn't it? I mean, what? Lil Skai is out here roughing up her man. For some reason, I can't picture this happening. I guess it's because she's so little compared to him. Like, he's twice her size. So if she did push him, she couldn't really do much damage to him, but to be fair, she still has to be held accountable. It doesn't matter if she's a woman. She shouldn't be putting her hands on anybody, and vice versa. A man should not be putting his hands on a woman. But still, it is really pretty messed up. I mean, this is the first time we've heard Skai getting caught up in a DV incident, and the fact that she's engaged to this man and expecting a child, I mean, this is just a lot. To bring a child into this mess, and the parents are fighting already, child. And we don't know much about this guy either. I just hope it's not one of those situations where he's using Skai for a come up or using her for her money. But I would be foolish to think that that couldn't possibly be the case, because I don't know what this guy does for real. Like, is he a rapper or what? Like, did she get him off the street? Like, where did he come from? But seriously, when I look at this situation, I get a little sad because Skai had so much promise. I mean, she was a Disney Channel star. She could have moved on and did more. She could have been like Marsai Martin, you know? But unfortunately, she hasn't been able to keep her brand super polished because she has been caught up in some drama here and there. And this recent drama is going to be very difficult to cover up because, I mean, she got arrested. But I do hope moving forward that we won't hear any more about any altercations, because Skai doesn't need that. She's pregnant, so that's not good for the baby, and it's not good for her relationship or her brand. I mean, this is a horrible look for her brand. Now, I want to move on and talk about this story. Now, Simone Biles' biological mother, Shannon Biles, did an interview with the Daily Mail, and she is now asking and pleading for Simone to reach out to her so she could explain to her why she wasn't in her life. Now, just to give a backstory, Simone's mother lost all 4 of her children to the foster care system because of her battle with addiction. Simone was taken away from her at the age of 3 years old, and thankfully, when she turned 6 years old, she and one of her sisters named Adria were adopted by their grandfather, Ronald, and his wife, Nellie. So Ronald and Nellie were the ones who raised Simone to be the Olympic champion that we see today. And Simone talked about this during her interview on the Call Me Daddy podcast.
When you were 3, you went into foster care.
Yes.
Can you just share just a little bit, like, what was going on at home that led to that?
I was only 3 years old, so I learned that a little bit whenever I was older, but drug and alcohol abuse. And so I just don't think that she was around too much, and people, you know, would call CPS or see us out and about. So that's kind of what happened. That's when foster care came and got us and placed us into a foster home. And so the only thing that I remember was just being anxious when we would go to sleep because my brother was in the room next door, and I think we were just always used to sleeping together or close or whatever because he's not that much older, and mind you, we were 3, and so I just had anxiety problems, so we were in a girls' room. They had girls' rooms and boys' rooms, and from my knowledge that sometimes during the night or during the day they would take kids out and replace them into a different home. And that's usually how siblings were separated. So I was just so terrified that if I woke up, my brother wouldn't be there. Even though I was with my sister, I was like, oh, we all have to stay together, kind of that thing, even from a young age. So I'd always sneak in and go sleep with him because I'm like, oh, this is my brother, you know, because I didn't understand the separation whenever at nighttime.
Did your parents ever talk to you about your biological parents?
Kind of funny because I'm not sure the relationship, maybe because we didn't ask either, but we knew who it was as we got older, Shannon, and that's kind of what we just addressed her as. But I knew once I got older that that's my dad's daughter, and then that's also crazy explaining to people because I'm like, my biological mom is also my dad's daughter, and I call him dad. So it's just like, everybody's hella confused.
So your grandparents adopted you at 6.
Yes.
And now they're your parents.
Yes.
Boom. How do you think that did change though, like the trajectory of your life?
Everything. I have no idea where I would be without being adopted. Unfortunately, I might end up the same statistic that other foster kids unfortunately end up. And you know, at 18 years old, you get kicked out of a foster home. So then you're homeless.
Right.
If you don't get into college and stuff, which most people don't graduate high school, you're on the street. So like, I fear for what my life would have looked like.
Yeah.
So that was Simone talking about her adoption. Now, her biological mother, Shannon, continued to struggle even after her children were taken away from her. She racked up a string of debt. She had to file for bankruptcy, and she currently is living in a crime-ridden neighborhood. In fact, this is her home. So she hasn't really been living the best, and she still is struggling with her addiction. But recently she did an interview with the Daily Mail, and she actually wants Simone to reach out to her.
Whenever she's ready, and I'm here. You know, I want her to be able to come to me and say, you know, okay, let's have a sit down because there's some things I want to know. So I just have to have patience. I want to let her know that I love her. I'm very proud of her. You know, but I'm just still waiting, you know. I would like to sit down and talk to you and answer any questions you may have. You know, I don't know what you've been told but, you know, I want you to hear the real deal. I was an addict. I will always be an addict. But there's just a way that you have to learn how to stay away from people, places, and things and change your routine and just change your life. Live your best life. You know, if I need to know anything, I'll call my dad. Hey, Dad, what's going on with Simone? How's everybody doing? You know, he keeps me posted.
So you don't have like a direct number that you can even reach out to her?
I do, but I won't.
Why not?
You know, I want her to reach out to me. You know, she's 27 now. She's married. I would like to have been a part of that, but I just have to wait for her.
Now, this interview kind of confused me a bit, and I do wonder if the Daily Mail was the one who sought her out for an exclusive interview, because it seems like the mother was kind of doing this interview for a check. I mean, it's pretty obvious that she doesn't care to really connect with Simone like that, because if she did, she would reach out to her. I mean, she actually has access to her. She has her phone number, so she could definitely call her up. And even if she didn't have the nerve to call her, she could still at least send a text message or something, just to kind of let her know that she actually cares a little bit. But I don't think Simone gets the feeling that her mother cares at all. And that's probably why she's distant. But see, Shannon can close this distance if she wants to, but she's too prideful. And she almost comes off a bit entitled by expecting the daughter that she abandoned to reach out to her after all of these years. It doesn't work that way. But like I said, I don't feel like the mother truly cares about connecting with Simone like that. I think she got paid for this interview, and she's just saying whatever she needs to say to make the story interesting enough. But I do hope that Simone's biological mother at least gets help for her addiction, because it's a crippling illness, and clearly it has affected her life in so many different ways, to the point that she can't even show up for her own biological children. And that's just really sad. That's really sad. But who knows what the future may hold for her and Simone. Maybe somewhere down the line they will connect with each other. We'll see what happens with that. But anyway, tell what you all think about the video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.